Can somebody tell me why is this stone not dying? Alright, look at this, look at this. Immortal? Yo, what's wrong with this stone? Hey, what is up guys? Guitar here, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Alright, today we're gonna talk a little bit about the banner. Alright, that's to come, not the current one. Obviously, if you guys are not aware, the current Xiao banner will be leaving in approximately 12 hours or so. But by the time when I post this video, they could be like, less than 6 hours or something because I'll need time to edit this video etc. Let's talk about what's to come. Alright, if you guys are not aware, we're gonna have the Keqing banner. Funny thing to note is the weapon banner will be here for 6 more days. So we have like approximately 1 more week for the weapon banner. Only the character banner will be leaving. So I find that really interesting. Alright, so this is the current banner that we have. The new banner is called Dance of Lanterns. Alright, so boosted drop rate for Driving Thunder, Keqing, Electro. I know a lot of you guys might be looking at these 4 stars and you might think, okay, this is not such a bad banner to pull. But in my opinion, this is really a trap banner, and getting Keqing from the character rate up banner, in my opinion, might not be super worth it. Now, of course, it's going to depend on a lot of things. Alright, if you want Keqing, ideally you're going to pull on her anyway, right? You're going to pull for her. But if you're someone that looking to, either to obtain Burnett, Ningguang, or Barbara, you could potentially pull for this banner. But overall, in my opinion, I do think that this is a trap banner for most cases because Keqing, while she is strong, you will eventually obtain her from the standard banner. Like, this is just what I think. Because right now in the current event, they are giving lots and lots of free pulls, alright? So if you are like me, alright, you are constantly gonna play this game for maybe 2 to 3 years to come. I do think that eventually, you will get Keqing from here. Alright, so you might think, okay, so that doesn't sound that bad, right? You will get Keqing from here eventually. So what's the deal if you get 1 extra copies of her? Now, if you look at Keqing, which fortunately I do have, alright, her constellations are not that good. Her first constellation, C1, recasting Stellar Restoration, while a lightning stiletto is present, causes Keqing to deal 50% of her attack as AoE electro damage at the start point and terminus of her blink. So yeah, basically this is for her E skill. She gets to deal like 50% of her extra, of her attack as extra AoE electro damage. I mean, it's alright. The second one though, Keqing's normal and charge attack hits opponents affected by electro, right? They have 50% chance of producing an elemental particle. Now, this seemed like a very good skill for sure if you're trying to go for the, spam alt kind of build. But for those of you who are not aware, Keqing already have like 40 energy cost on her ultimate. So I don't think you really need to have dozens and tons of, energy particles. And especially if you are trying to go for the composition where you put 2 electro, that is gonna be much cheaper. For those of you who are not aware, going 2 electro, so meaning high voltage, right? So affected by hydro, 40% less time, and superconduct overload and electro charge have a 100% chance to generate an electro elemental particle. So you have a chance to generate extra particle basically. If you think that your Keqing might struggle, alright, or you don't have any substat that gives you energy recharge, to hopefully help your Keqing to spam alt more often, going for 2 electro and going for the high voltage resonance might not be the worst of things. So yeah, that is also something that to take into consideration. Now going into the C3 is just to improve her skills. Now C4. For 10 seconds after Keqing triggers an electro-related elemental reaction, her attack is increased by 25%. Now this is not bad ideally, alright, increasing her attack by 25%, but to be honest, I don't think it's going to be a lot. Like, if this is damage, or this is crit damage, then it's really good. But since it's attack, like, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, attack doesn't scale as well as crit damage late game. Alright, if you're trying to deal more damage, going the crit damage, crit rate route is the best way to go. And then now if you go to the C6, Now, when initiating a normal attack, a charge attack, elemental skill, or elemental burst. So when Keqing does any of those things, Keqing gains 6% electro damage bonus for 8 seconds. Now, effects triggered by normal charge, elemental skill, and elemental burst are considered independent entities. Now, this is a pretty good C6. Alright, I would say 6%. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it looks like it can stack, right? Because right here it says that those are considered independent entities. So therefore, if you are using your normal, your charge, your elemental skill, elemental burst, so that's like 6 times 4, 24% electro damage bonus. Now that is a lot of damage bonus. Now C6 on Keqing looks like a very good, solid constellation. But otherwise, going from C1, to C5, I don't think it's like super necessary. Now if you look at the other characters featured right here, and that includes Barbara, Ningguang, and Burnett. Now we all know how good Burnett is. Alright, and I don't want to talk too much about Burnett because I'm sure all of you guys might have heard Burnett is one of the best 4 stars out there. And he might actually be able to compete toe to toe with some 5 stars even. Now Burnett's constellation, the best one for him is C1. Going beyond that is unnecessary. You don't really need C2, C3, C4. I mean, it's good to have, but those things are not really needed in most cases. C1 is Burnett's best constellations by far. Now when we talk about Barbara and Ningguang, these two can be a bit complicated. Okay, so let's focus on those two first. Alright, talking about Barbara, constellation, of course this one definitely helps, the C1, because she regenerates 1 energy every 10 seconds. For those of you who are not familiar, Barbara is one of the few characters that cannot generate energy particles from her elemental skill or her elemental burst. So having C1 definitely is super helpful. Now C2 decrease the cooldown of Let the Show Begin by 15%. Now for those of you who are not aware, this is her elemental skill, her E skill. Now during the ability's duration, your active character gains a 15% hydro damage bonus. And in this case, if you want to go Barbara DPS, I guess you can. Your Barbara will deal 15% more damage bonus. I don't know, it's good for certain characters. Like there are only 4 hydro characters right now in the game, right? Which is Barbara Xingqiu for 4 stars, and Mona and Chal for 5 stars. Now depending on what's your setup like, if you actually own a Mona or Chal, maybe you can consider using the elemental skill, swapping to them, then this could be a good 15% hydro damage bonus is nothing to get scuffed at, right? And then going into the C3, obviously this is going to improve Shining Miracle by 3, which is her ultimate elemental burst. Alright, so C4, every opponent Barbara hits with a charge attack regenerates 1 energy for her. Maximum of 5 energy can be regenerated in this manner with any 1 charge attack. Now this one is really good. The downside is you have to use charge attack, and I'm not sure if spamming too many of your charge attacks is a good idea because you're gonna run out of stamina very, very quickly. I actually have no idea how practical is this. This doesn't look like it's super practical in Spiral Abyss. You don't have time to basically spam charge attacks. And then going into C6, now this is really good. Alright, automatically revives fallen character and your character's HP will go to 100%. Now of course C6 Barbara it seems like a really good thing in Spiral Abyss, but in the open world you don't really need this. I don't know, it's kind of a mixed thing. If you care about Spiral Abyss, you should get Barbara C6, but then again, if you are struggling in Spiral Abyss, I don't think having C6 Barbara is gonna help you. Like most of the time in Spiral Abyss is DPS check. Alright, having better artifacts, etc, having more healing doesn't really help you much late game. Alright, for those of you who are not aware, now in the open world, you don't really need this either because you can rely on food to revive your character, and that's going to be much more efficient, right? Going into Ningguang, you can see Ningguang is a bit more complicated. Alright, I do not own any constellations for her, but you can see C1 is really good. Alright, when she uses her regular hits, it deals AoE damage. Now the thing is, this only applies to her normal attack. It doesn't apply to her charge attacks. Alright, keep that in mind. This one is gonna be good if your Ningguang is a main DPS for sure. And then going into C2, this one will be good if your Ningguang is a support. This means that you can spam the Jade screen more often. Now C4, increase elemental resistance. I don't think this is super useful, but going into C6 obviously, now this is going to be insane. C6 is probably the best constellations for Ningguang, right? Now if you really want her, or at least one more character from this banner, then yes, you should pull. So yeah, overall my thoughts, I would say this banner overall, it feels like a trap. It doesn't feel like my advice to most F2P players out there, free to play. If you are free to play, you never spend any money, my suggestion is to just wait. Alright, just wait. Do not pull on this banner on day 1. Wait until like it's near the end, and then you can decide. Alright, once the new announcement of the upcoming banner of what's to come after Keqing. Alright, supposedly that's what players have been saying and speculating that it's going to be Hu Tao banner. So if that's the case, then I think it's better to wait and see what are the 4 stars available on that banner. Alright guys, that's going to be my overall advice for you guys out there. As always, let me know what you guys think regarding this banner. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.